Good morning. This is Here If You Need It. It is Monday on this foggy day on top of the mountain. What's going on to any peekaboos or passerbys, first time watchers, few time watchers? Just an amazing day, amazing opportunity. And I hope you guys feel that as well. I started reading this book last night on this guy, and I've heard his name for a little bit, but I had never really dove into his biography. This guy, Walter Russell. The whole essential part of this book, right, was this author was looking for somebody who he felt like had mastered these universal laws and essentially was the most like divinely aligned person he could find. Like someone who just was prolific in his work, who carried this unlimited force. And that search ran him into Walter Russell. Walter Russell was a painter, a sculptor, a philosopher, a scientist, an ice skating champion when he was 60. Like, just the craziest shit you've ever heard of and seen. And so his whole goal was to just follow him and just be like, bro, what's the secret? Like, how did we get here? And Walter, when talking to him, he said a couple things that grabbed me right out of the gate that I was like, oh, that's worth sharing. And one of them is, he asked, like, what are the source of all this seemingly unlimited potential and power that you use in all these ways? And he said, I believe in my heart of hearts that mediocrity is self-inflicted and genius is self-imposed, or self-bestowed rather. Mediocrity is self-inflicted and genius is self-bestowed. He said you can only become as much as you grant yourself the capacity to be. And surely at the level deeper than just results or concepts or just kind of your own blinders, your own limitations, that there is the essence behind that. And it is up to you, me, everybody to first and foremost grant the permission for that essence. That's the first permission slip to play the game, according to him, which I agree with. But it's the idea that if you say you're beaten, you surely are, and to allow yourself to consider that there is genius inside of you, there is a knowing, there is a oneness and a force that you have to acknowledge in order to even bring forth. And so I found that very interesting. And they went in and asked him more about what throughout his life has kept him going from these little things. Because whether it be he started as like a bellhop, and then he started commissioning paintings for people, and that turned into sculptures, and that, like, all these things. And he said, I have absolute faith again and again and again in the universal law. And he very specifically laid out the universal law. He said to always and intently try your best with no attachment to outcome, and in always giving more than you are receiving, and having complete faith in the unfolding within that. And that part that I leaned on and I was really thinking about was the idea of always giving more than you are receiving. I feel like we are in such a what are you doing for me time. In such a, hey, how does this work out for me time. And I think even within that, you're operating from such a lack. He said something I really liked as well. He was talking about the danger of money. And he was like, money is dangerous in the fact that once you start acquiring it, you're no longer bound to serving that universal intelligence to keep you alive and vibrant. You are serving ease. It turns from always pushing forward in love and charity and growth and a higher frequency, and you begin to chase ease, and sometimes you can confuse the two now. And I think that it was just a very interesting way to start that book off. And I think, those are things that are important to think about. And I think today, what better way to go into a week than think about the fact of what Walter Russell said. Mediocrity is self-inflicted, and genius is self-bestowed. It's all coming through us. So that's really all I got, but enjoy the day. Give more than you receive today, and let's just see where it shakes out. All right, let's go.